Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. My name is Kassandra and I'm going to take you through this yoga practice which does not have any weight-bearing poses on your hands, your wrists, and really just your arms in general. So it's still going to be, as much as possible, a full body flow, and I would say maybe a little bit more geared towards intermediate students, but truly could be done by all experience levels. I'll give you modifications if there's any pose that is maybe a little bit more challenging, but just an all-around good practice to get a little bit of strength, to work on balance, and to also improve flexibility. But if you have any kind of injuries or sensitivities right now in your wrists and your hands, hopefully this should help. So no planks, no downward dogs, no tabletop poses, none of that, and no props are required. We are actually going to begin standing up, so you can just make your way to the top of your mat and just start in your mountain pose, Tadasana, rolling your shoulders back, palms shining forward, and maybe close your eyes just so you can get your center of gravity and really align yourself, finding that internal sense of balance, so that you're not leaning too far forward into the balls of your feet, not too far back into your heels, not on one side more than the other. We're really just finding that solid foundation. And this is an active pose. So I want you to feel your toes spreading, really pushing down into the ground. And then you're engaging your quads to lift the kneecap up. You're lengthening your tailbone down, pulling your lower belly in, so you're really strong through your core, engaging your back muscles to pull your shoulders back, and lengthening the crown of your head up. So take one more full deep breath here. And if you had your eyes closed, you can gently open them. And we'll take a standing side bend. So you can just let your left hand kind of rest on your thigh. Right arm will stretch up and move all the way over. So a nice standing side body stretch, and I'm letting my right hip push out to the side. You can gaze down or up, whatever is more comfortable for your neck. Push your feet into the floor, use your obliques to lift up, and we'll switch sides. Right hand down, left arm rises and push out. And breathing in and out through your nose here. Coming all the way back through to center, and let's take 3 rounds of our half sun salutation. So no plank, no downward dog. You're going to inhale, reach your arms all the way up, palms come together. Exhale, fold forward. You can absolutely bend your knees here, especially since we're just warming up. Halfway lift, inhale, fingertips to your shins, lean your weight forward into the balls of the feet. And then exhale, fold again once more, and the knees can totally bend. Reverse the pose, so inhale, circle the arms wide, lead with your chest, push your feet into the floor. Exhale, hands at the heart. Twice more like this. Inhale. Exhale, fold down. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Press to stand, lead with your chest. Exhale, hands at your heart. Last one, inhale, circle up. And fold, breathe out. Inhale, lift up halfway, parallel to the ground, and fold, exhale. Come all the way back up one last time. Exhale, hands at the heart, and keep your hands where they are here. So with your feet hip-width distance apart, you're going to keep your right leg where it is and just step the left leg back. So you're in a high lunge. You might need to kind of just wiggle that toe back. So you have your right knee bent, trying to get that thigh almost parallel to the ground. I'm bending my left knee because it helps me keep my pelvis underneath my shoulders. And then go ahead and reach your arms all the way up, palms facing in towards one another. And let's add a little bit of intensity here. We're going to tilt forward and reach the arms back. So squeeze your shoulder blades behind you so you're not rounding or collapsing, and try to keep your belly off of your front thigh. And let's kick off into our warrior three. So you're going to be balancing on that right leg and lifting the left leg up. Keep your left hip rolling down so your toes and your knee are pointing down. Gaze is steady. And let's come all the way up. Shake it out. Utkatasana pose, chair pose. Sink your hips down, bend your knees. You don't have to have your arms up. You can always keep hands at your heart. We're not here for very long. Straighten your legs, hands come together. And let's do this over on the other side. So keeping your left leg where it is this time. Go ahead and step the right foot back. Feet are hip width apart. Same thing. I'm really trying to get my front knee over that second and third toe. Make sure it's not wobbling side to side. Shoulders directly over your hips, and then maybe extend your arms. Let's add our tilt. Leaning forward, shoulders back. Notice if you started to straighten that left leg, keep a deep bend in your knee. And we're going to push off, coming into our warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3. So at most you want to be parallel to the ground. We're not dipping our chest or upper body any lower than that. And coming all the way up, release. Utkatasana one last time. Sink down as if you're sitting in a chair with most of your body weight into your heels. And this time let's fold forward, ragdoll. I'm going to widen my feet a little bit here, so it's more so towards the edges of the mat. And I'm letting my knees bend, grabbing a hold of the elbows, and just swaying a little bit side to side. Let's take 3 cleansing breaths in this forward fold. So it just means you're going to inhale through the nose and a big sigh, exhale out the mouth, really clearing things out. 2 more. Letting it go. Release your hands down. You're going to bend your knees again and just roll all the way up back to stand. Push your heels to help support you as you curl and lift all the way up. Let's go ahead and take a wide squat, sometimes called goddess pose or temple pose. You have your heels in, your feet are turned out at about a 45-degree angle or so. And then we're going to bend into our knees and really working on pressing the knees open by squeezing and engaging through the glutes. Once you feel secure and steady through the base, you're going to interlace your hands, release the index fingers, and just cross one thumb over the other, lifting your arms up. And we can add a little side bend here at the same time. So you can just lean over to the left, back to center, and over to the right. Back through to center. Go ahead and cactus shape with your arms, bending at the elbows. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. And with your hands on your hips, straighten your legs. Turn your toes in so you now have both feet parallel to the shorter edges of your mat. And we can fold all the way forward. So hinging from the hips. And you can keep your hands on your hips or you can relax your palms down towards the mat. Whatever feels the most comfortable to you here. I like to just kind of turn my head side to side lightly. And you can add a deeper stretch here by walking your hands and your upper body towards your right leg, maybe even using a little bit of strength to kind of pull your head towards your knee. One last option for you here is to bend your left knee. So sinking even deeper into it. And if your left knee was bent, go ahead and straighten that leg, move back through to center, and we'll do the same thing to the other side. So you're trying to bring your head towards your left shin and left knee. Maybe go ahead and bend your right knee this time. Lifting back through to center, walk your hands in, and from here you're just going to toe heel your feet so they get in a little bit wider than your hips. Keep your heels in, toes out, and lower down into Malasana, your yogi squat. You can use your elbows to push the knees open a little bit more as you lift the crown of your head up. And just go ahead and release your hips down, open your legs, so into a straddle. So kind of like our standing wide-legged forward fold, but now we're going to do it seated. Let's find a side bend here again. So your right hand, right arm is going to reach all the way up and over. Try to roll that right shoulder back. So you're getting a nice side body stretch, relaxing your neck. Inhale back up and through to center, second side, left arm reaches all the way up and over, roll that left shoulder back. Lifting back up, this time rotate your chest over towards that left leg and see if you can fold down. And lifting back up, face over towards the right leg and right shin, fold once more. And coming all the way back. You can use your hands just to help the legs come back in, bending through your knees. And now from here, we're just going to transition into our boat pose. So maybe you're holding on to the back of your thighs, or you can keep your arms reaching out in front of you. You're rocking the weight onto your sit bones and then maybe lifting one or both legs off the mat. And you can definitely hold on here. This helps to lift your heart and your chest. You're trying to draw the lower belly in towards you. Big core strengthening pose. One more breath. And release. Let's find a seated twist. Start with your left leg straight in front of you, and you're going to cross your right foot over the left thigh, and then maybe also bend into that left knee. So you're pulling that thigh in, keeping all four corners of your right foot pushing into the mat. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, twist, elbow towards your thigh. So my hips are facing forward. I'm keeping my spine straight and long. I'm rotating from my mid-back and up. And let's release. We'll switch sides. Right leg extends. You're going to cross your left foot over the top of that thigh. Maybe bend into your right knee to bring that heel in. Make sure you're really sitting on both hips here, not leaning on one side more than the other. Right arm goes up, and then you're going to cross so you have your elbow here to push against the thigh. I'm just bringing my hands back behind me to put a little bit more support so I'm not rounding or collapsing through my upper back as I twist a little bit more. One more big breath here. And release. Let's go ahead and lay down on our backs. We're going to transition into variations of bridge pose. So I want you to really feel your shoulder blades shrug underneath you, and you have your heels pretty close in towards your seat here. Feet are hip width distance apart, not wider. Often when people walk their feet back, they also widen their stance. So make sure sit bones, knees, and ankles are in the same line. And then you're going to squeeze through your seat to lift your hips up, low back and mid back. And maybe you're just going to want to hang out here. If you'd like to build up and onto this, you're going to lean on your left leg and see if you can extend that right leg up. I'm reaching through the ball of my foot, spreading through the toes, pushing evenly. And switching sides so that my right foot comes down. I'm shifting my weight a little bit and lifting my left leg up. And I'm bending down. Take one more breath to squeeze and lift up even higher. And exhale, roll all the way back down, inch by inch. Just take a moment to widen your feet and let your knees fall in towards one another. And keeping your feet wide as they are right now, just flex them so that you only have your heels touching the ground. And from here, you're going to drop both thighs over to the left. And maybe you're also going to cross your left ankle over the top of your right knee. I like to also reach my right arm up towards the sky so that I'm really lengthening all through the right side body. If this does not work for your knees or for your lower back for any reason, you can just do any other variation of a reclined spinal twist. You're going to keep your left ankle crossed over the top of your right knee and just lift up. So you have this figure four shape. And we're going to pull that right thigh in towards us. And it's up to you if you want to keep that right knee bent as you pull in. If you'd like to add a hamstring stretch, you're going to straighten your right leg and maybe reach up a little bit more towards your ankle as you pull. And try to get it a little bit closer. Try to keep head and shoulders relaxed here. We're not curling up. And let's release. Walk your feet out a little bit more and widen your stance so that you can flex your feet and only have your heels touching the mat. You're going to drop your thighs over towards the right this time and then cross your right ankle over the top of your left knee and maybe extend your left arm up overhead. Remember, you can just do another variation of a twist if this pose does not feel good in your body. Keep the cross of the ankle over your knee and just lift that left leg back up. You can walk the foot in a little bit for your reclined pigeon pose. You're drawing your left thigh in towards your belly, either keeping that knee bent or straightening the leg and reaching further up to get more so into the hamstrings. I like to really flex my left foot. This helps to kind of intensify the pose. Give it one last big pull here, squeezing in. And let's release. Uncross the legs and maybe just drop your knees side to side in a little windshield wiper motion stance. We'll be making our way into Shavasana, our final resting pose. So whenever you feel ready, you can just take up some space and let yourself fully settle here. And this is our opportunity to really process and integrate the work that we've done. Really an opportunity to check in with ourselves and to observe how our yoga practice has made changes to our physical, mental, and emotional state. Without judgment, you're really just playing the role of the observer. Take a few minutes here, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Deepen your breath so that you can wake yourself back up nice and slow with some gentle movement through your fingers, through your toes, your wrists, your ankles. And you can reach your arms up overhead, lengthen and stretch everything out. Let's turn to the side, press and come up, taking a seat. Sit up tall. Really lengthen crown of your head away from your tailbone. Let's join our hands together at the heart. And to close our practice, we chant Om together one time. Inhale to chant, breathe deep. Thank you so very much for doing this practice with me. I hope that you feel really good in your body. Please leave me a comment below before you go, just to let me know how this class went for you and how it made you feel. If you don't already, please do subscribe to my channel, and hopefully you'll be practicing again with me very soon.